Today's deep dive takes us right into the thick of it.
The thick of it.
The 24 Hours of Le Mans, one of motorsport's most grueling races.
Okay.
And an underdog story for the ages, the Mazda 787B.
Oh, I love this story.
You guys sent us some fascinating articles, so buckle up.
Okay.
We're diving deep into the world of screaming rotary engines, nail-biting finishes, and a legacy that still resonates today.
What's so cool about the 91 race is that Le Mans was at its peak. Automakers saw it as like the ultimate test. They poured resources, prestige, everything into taking home that trophy.
So this wasn't just about speed.
No.
It was about engineering excellence, pushing the limits of what a race car could do.
Exactly. Giants like Jaguar, Mercedes, Porsche, they were the titans back then, each with their own racing pedigree. Then you have Mazda, known for their, quirky rotary engines, deciding to challenge these giants head-on.
David versus Goliath, really. Nobody expected them to stand a chance.
Especially with a rotary engine, it was seen as a gamble, a quirky choice against these traditional powerful engines.
So let's break it down. What was so unusual about this rotary engine? What made it so different from everything else on the track?
Okay, so picture this. Instead of pistons going up and down, you have a triangular rotor.
A triangular what?
Rotor, spinning smoothly in this oval chamber.
Wild.
That's the heart of a rotary engine.
That is radically different.
It is.
What are the advantages of having this spinning triangle power your car?
Well, for one, it's compact. Mazda managed to squeeze out an impressive amount of horsepower for its size, especially with the 787B's four-rotor setup. And because there are fewer moving parts compared to a piston engine, it runs incredibly smoothly.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But there had to be some downsides. Why didn't everyone just switch to rotary engines if they were so great?
Yeah, well, fuel consumption was always the Achilles heel of the rotary. It's not the most fuel-efficient design, especially when you're pushing it to the limit on a racetrack.
And in a 24-hour race,
Yeah.
fuel stops
Big time.
can cost you.
Yeah, exactly. So it was a trade-off. You got the power, smooth operation, but at the cost of fuel efficiency.
Got it.
And then there's reliability. Rotary engines, especially those early generations, had a reputation, being a bit finicky.
Finicky, okay.
Particularly these things called apex seals.
Apex seals. Those sound important.
Oh, they are. They keep everything airtight within the rotary engine. They take a lot of stress, and if they fail, catastrophic.
So Mazda was really facing an uphill battle, weren't they?
They were.
Trying to win one of the toughest races in the world with an engine known for its thirst and
Reliability issue.
reliability issues, yeah.
It was a gamble, but Mazda, they had been perfecting this rotary engine for decades.
Right.
The 78CMB, it was the culmination of their experience, their unwavering belief in this unique engine.
They really put all their eggs in one basket. So tell us, what made this 787B, this underdog, so special? How'd they turn those rotary engine challenges into advantages?
The 787B wasn't just about raw power. It was about efficiency, strategy. They knew they couldn't win a fuel economy contest, so they focused on making the car as light as possible.
And when you say lightweight,
Lightweight.
seriously lightweight.
Oh, yeah. The 787B weighed in at a mere 830 kilograms. That's significantly lighter than many road cars you see today,
Wow.
let alone a race car built to withstand 24 hours of punishment.
It's like they stripped it down to the bare essentials.
They did. The chassis, it was a work of art, crafted from lightweight but incredibly strong carbon fiber and Kevlar. And they didn't skimp on innovation either. The 787B was one of the first race cars to use carbon ceramic brakes.
Really?
Unheard of back then.
Yeah.
Unheard of.
Those are materials you see in, like, aerospace applications.
Exactly.
Not your average Honda Civic.
No. Mazda knew that every gram counted, especially with that fuel consumption challenge. By shedding weight, they could improve that fuel efficiency, put less stress on the engine, make it more reliable.
So they turned the rotary engine's weakness into a strength. They built the car around the engine, right?
Yes.
Played to its strengths, mitigated its weaknesses.
Exactly.
That's brilliant engineering.
And remember that four-rotor R26B engine we talked about? The one they detuned to 700 horsepower for reliability.
Yeah.
Well, even with the power dialed back, it provided incredible acceleration and a top speed that could keep pace with their rivals on the long straights of Le Mans.
Okay, so we've got a lightweight, technologically advanced car with a unique engine that probably sounded like nothing else on the track.
Yeah.
But a great car doesn't guarantee a win at Le Mans. Let's talk about the race itself. Where did Mazda find themselves on the starting grid?
Well, despite all the innovation, qualifying didn't go exactly as planned. The two 787Bs were placed quite a way down, 19th and 23rd,
Out of,
out of 38 cars.
wow,
A testament to how tough the competition was that year.
19th and 23rd
Yeah.
out of 38. Not a recipe for a fairy tale ending.
No.
It sounds like Mazda had their work cut out for them from the moment that green flag dropped.
Yeah, not an ideal starting position, but that's the beauty of endurance racing. It's not about who starts the fastest. It's about who's got the pace, the strategy, and, let's be honest, a little bit of luck to last the full 24 hours. And the 787B, with that fuel-sipping design and that surprisingly reliable rotary engine, was about to prove that point in spectacular fashion.
So how did those opening hours of the race unfold for Mazda? Did they manage to, make up any ground from that starting position?
The race strategy, it was clear right from the get-go. Mazda wasn't focused on making, flashy moves, risky overtaking. They knew their car. They knew its strengths. Consistency.
Okay.
Lap after lap, the 787Bs, they just kept circulating, setting consistent times, and most importantly, avoiding any major incidents.
It seems almost too calm, considering the environment of Le Mans.
Yeah.
Weren't they tempted to push a little harder, make up some positions, be more aggressive?
Oh, I'm sure there were moments when they wanted to unleash that R26B engine,
Yeah.
especially that incredible sound.
Oh, yeah.
But Mazda, they had a plan, and they stuck to it. See, Le Mans, it's as much a mental game as it is a test of, mechanical endurance.
So they were playing the long game,
Yes.
letting others make mistakes while they just
Bided their time.
bided their time. Okay.
Exactly. And as the hours ticked by, that strategy started to pay off. The relentless pace of the race, it started to take its toll. Mechanical gremlins crept in, forcing some of the big names into the pits for unscheduled repairs.
So the pressure cooker of Le Mans starts to reveal some cracks in the armor of those who maybe went out a little too hard, a little too hot.
That's endurance racing for you. It's a war of attrition. You can have the fastest car, the best drivers, but if your car can't handle the punishment, your chances of winning start to,
Dwindle.
dwindle every passing hour.
And this is where Mazda's meticulous preparation, their focus on reliability and fuel efficiency, started to give them an edge.
100%. While their rivals were, grappling with these unexpected pit stops, mechanical woes, the Mazda 787Bs just kept going.
Wow.
Like clockwork,
Yeah.
sticking to their fuel strategy, minimizing wear and tear on the car, and steadily climbing up that leaderboard.
It's incredible to think that this team that was initially seen as out of their depth with this unconventional engine were now what? Quietly, almost stealthily,
Becoming contenders.
becoming contenders. When did things really start to shift in their favor? Was there a pivotal moment?
Well, as dawn broke over the Cirque de la Sarthe, there was this palpable sense of anticipation, And the leading Sauber Mercedes C11, driven by a young Michael Schumacher.
Schumacher at Le Mans,
Yes.
leading the race.
Starts to experience engine trouble.
Oh, no, you couldn't script this.
No. It was a turning point. The Mercedes, which had, dominated those early hours, was forced into the pits.
Yeah.
Their lead evaporating with every passing second.
This was Mazda's moment.
Yeah.
The underdog. They had weathered the storm, they had stuck to their strategy, and now, with the finish line in sight,
They had a real shot at victory.
wow.
It was a moment of truth for the Mazda team. They'd never been in this position before.
Right.
Leading the 24 hours of Le Mans within reach of the seemingly impossible.
I can only imagine the tension inside that Mazda garage.
Oh, yeah.
Those final hours.
Yeah.
The weight of expectation. Knowing that they were on the cusp of achieving something truly extraordinary.
It must have been like this mix of elation, anxiety, right?
Yeah.
They knew they had a chance, but victory, it was far from certain.
Right.
Le Mans is notorious for throwing curveballs, especially in those final moments.
And a crucial decision lay ahead for the Mazda team. Johnny Herbert was behind the wheel of the leading 787B. He's pushing hard, but fatigue is setting in.
Sure.
Do they risk a pit stop, get a fresh driver in, but potentially lose their hard-earned lead? Or do they keep Herbert out on the track, trust him to bring it home?
They went with the latter. Bold decision. It really shows you how much confidence they had in Herbert.
Yeah.
And in the 787B, they radioed Herbert. Conserve the car, they said, as much as possible, but maintain a competitive pace.
Nerve-wracking, I bet.
Oh, absolutely.
For everyone involved.
Yeah.
Watching the clock tick down, every lap, a victory closer.
Closer and closer.
But also a potential opportunity for disaster.
Right.
But Herbert, he drove like a man possessed,
He did.
exhausted, but focused.
Ah.
Piloted that 787B through those final hours,
Unbelievable.
kept it on the track, managed the gap, never put a wheel wrong.
Talk about grace under pressure.
Yeah.
Not just the physical demands of driving at the limit, but the mental fortitude to
Yeah.
hold it together with a historic win right there within reach.
And then the moment arrived.
Yeah.
The checkered flag. 24 grueling hours of racing. And it was the orange and green Mazda 787B driven by a very tired, I'm sure, but very elated Johnny Herbert
Yes.
that crossed the finish line first.
It was a victory that it just defied expectations.
It did.
A triumph for what? Unconventional thinking.
Yeah.
A testament to the dedication, the innovation, the sheer grit of that entire Mazda team.
The underdog.
The underdog.
They did it.
They did it.
They conquered Le Mans,
Yeah.
a feat that so many thought was impossible.
Impossible.
And they did it with a roaring, spinning triangle-powered engine.
Amazing. And the world took notice. That 787B's victory, it wasn't just a win, it was a statement.
Right.
You know, it was like, this is what happens when you persevere,
Yeah.
when you refuse to accept limitations.
It's a story that honestly still gives me chills.
Me too.
But there's often a touch of irony in motorsport, isn't there?
Often.
Mazda's historic win, it was bittersweet.
Yeah,
It marked the end of an era
it did.
for the Rotary engine
At Le Mans.
at Le Mans.
Yeah.
New regulations came into effect the following year, right?
It did.
Effectively outlawed the Rotary engine from the top class.
Some say it was a direct response to Mazda's dominance.
Imagine that. Winning so convincingly that they changed the rules to make sure it couldn't happen again.
Wow.
A backhanded compliment if there ever was one.
Yeah, it really solidified the 787B's legacy, though, didn't it? This giant slayer, a one-hit wonder in the best possible way.
The best possible way. And you know, we've been mainly talking about the winning car, but Mazda had two other 787Bs competing in that race.
Right, and they put in a commendable performance, too.
They did.
The number 18 car
Yeah.
finished 6th.
Sixth?
6th.
Wow.
And the number 56 car crossed the line in 8th.
3 cars, all finishing in the top 10
Top 10.
of one of the toughest races in the world. That's not just about the car. It's about the team, the preparation, the strategy.
It shows you it wasn't a fluke. This was a team that was dedicated, prepared, and they believed in the Rotary.
It's clear that the Mazda 787B's victory at Le Mans, it wasn't just a win. It was a cultural moment.
It was.
The enduring allure of the underdog story.
The little guy won.
A reminder that sometimes the greatest triumphs come from daring to be different.
I love that. What's so fascinating to me is how that story continues to resonate today.
Yeah.
It's a story that goes beyond motorsport.
Right.
It's about anyone who dares to dream big. Anyone who's ever been told, no, you can't do that.
Right.
It's about challenging convention.
It's about passion.
Never giving up on your passion. So thank you. Thank you for bringing this to the deep dive.
My pleasure. And to our listener, if you ever get the chance to see a 787B in person, maybe at the Mazda Museum or a classic car event, do it. Take a moment, close your eyes, and just listen to that rotary engine roar. It's a sound that truly embodies the spirit of innovation, determination, and the passion for pushing the limits of what's possible.